17 na akorwo agiturehera maumirira makuri uguo gicigo kia ubunge kia Makadara, Kasarani, Lang'ata na uria marathie na mbere na magiukaga no uguo tugikorwo tugikimemerekeria mwiroreri wa Inooro TV na mwisho wa uhoro tugikorwo tugikimenya nu ugakorwo akirirukia federa ya matamu ma
One, at the floor of the auditorium will be IEBC officials, 2 agents of each of the presidential candidates, and the returning officer that is bringing results on every desk. In addition, we will have the chief agent and a deputy who will alternate, and one of their lawyers. And those are the only people who will be allowed on the floor of the auditorium. Everyone else who comes into this building will sit at the respective marked areas in the dais. Nobody else is allowed to access this floor of the auditorium apart from the people that I've described. Secondly, presidential agents are allowed to have a laptop for purposes of having downloaded the forms 34A from the public portal or from the API access given to them. They can download in their one laptop, and they will be allowed to counter-check the result forms downloaded from the web portal against what the returning officers will provide them with. And so every agent will have one laptop per desk. We've allowed, even yesterday, there were some agents that had laptops. There's something circulating in the media that one politician was kicked out having brought in a laptop. There was nothing wrong with the laptop of that political party agent having it in the Tallying Center floor. So that kind of misinformation, character assassination, the Commission does not encourage and would want those propagating such lies to restrain themselves so that the country can be peaceful. We have 2 coordinators of IEBC managing the floor each time. And if there are any issues being raised by any agent or any chief agent, the coordinators will be the first point of contact, and the coordinators will escalate to the Commission if need be. The Commission is fully aware that we have 7 days to declare the presidential results, and we are committed to ensure that we comply with the Constitution and the applicable laws. We will not allow anybody, including agents of political parties, agents of presidential candidates, to frustrate the effort of trying to comply with the 7-day deadline. And therefore, we have agreed that agents will play a facilitative role in terms of trying to expedite the verification process on the various, that is taking place in the various desks. We have deployed security around the tally floor, and if need be, we will increase. But depending on how peaceful the floor will be, we will reduce. We urge everyone coming into the floor, into the auditorium, whether you will be on the floor for specific roles or observing from the dais, to be respectful to the Commission employees, to be respectful to their fellow Kenyans, and to be respectful to our guests who are here by way of election observation. Let us all maintain decency, and we have already established how we can complain, how complaints can be escalated in case there will be any. And so for all those who are coming and who are not supposed to access the floor, to remain seated calmly and observe from the comfort of the seats we provided at the dais and the stairs. We do not want to see people coming into this auditorium with printed material. Now that we are asking presidential candidate agents to have a laptop with downloaded 34As, which means they will have PDF copies of the downloaded 34As. We do not expect any presidential agent to bring in any paper material into the tally center. And so these are the discussions we had and the resolutions we had, and we hope and wish that we will all comply so that we can have a smooth process and the Commission can meet its constitutional and other statutory deadlines. Asanteni sana. There is misinformation, disinformation, talking about the Commission systems having been compromised. I will invite the CEO to speak to that and assure the country that all is safe.
Thank you very much. There are information, or misinformation, or disinformation going around that the Commission systems have been compromised, and that even the results portal that we are hosting has also been compromised. We would like to assure the country that nothing like that has happened. Of course, we anticipated that there are people who will try to hack our systems, And we put mechanisms in place to ensure that our systems are basically secured. We are monitoring all our systems at all levels, at network level, at application level, at database level, and even at operating system level. Nothing like that has happened. Of course, we know people are not sleeping. They want to make sure that our systems are down. I don't think there is any time that even our portal has twinked that it was down for even a second. This is because of the mechanism we put in place. So we assure the whole country that our systems are actually secure. And if there is any doubt, please talk to us. Don't send misinformation outside there. Please talk to us, and mechanisms we have put in place are foolproof. Thank you very much.
Good day.
Na mtazamaji, karibu kukaribisha mtazamaji kwa hivi sasa, ikiwa ni sehemu yetu ambayo tutakuwa nawe kuweza kukupa matokeo ya moja kwa moja na shughuli zinavyoendelea hapa nchini Kenya, Wakenya wakisubiri kwa hamu na gamu kujua matokeo ya uchaguzi kuanzia mwakilishi wadi kwenda kwa mwakilishi mwanamke, mbunge, seneta, gavana hadi kiti cha urais. Umesikia hapo kwa kifupi tu ni kwamba alikuwa ni tume ya IEBC, makamishna wakijaribu kuweza kuweka vitu wazi. Mwanzo ametoa utaratibu ni nani anaruhusiwa kuweza kuwa pale chini na nani ambaye anaruhusiwa haruhusiwi kukaa pale na akae kule juu. Fuatilie zile sehemu ambazo zimeweza kutengwa maalum za wao kuzungumza. Kumbuka uamuzi huu unakuja wakati ambapo wamekuwa kidogo navuta ni kuvute kwamba kuna mtu alikuwepo, alikuwa na tarakilishi, lakini pia wamesema kwamba yule jamaa alikuwa na tarakilishi hakuwa amevunja ama amefanya chochote kibaya ambacho kenda kaujumu kile ambacho kinafanyika katika ukumbi wa Bomas. Hivyo basi wale ambao wahusiki kuwa chini ya ukumbi wa Bomas wakae kule juu na watulie, shughuli iendelee kama ilivyopangwa. Na pili pia akasema kuna tetesi kwamba labda mitambo imedukuliwa kule ya wao wenyewe kama watu wa IEBC, wakisema hilo hadi kufikia sasa halijafanyika, lakini wako macho kuhakikisha kwamba hilo halitofanyika. Lakini Mkenya yeyote mwenye taarifa kuhusiana na hilo awe mwepesi wa kuwasiliana nao. ni Mrotabu.
Bila shaka, asante sana Rashid Abdalla. Nasisitiza tu vile ulivyokuwa umesema kwamba IEBC kwa sasa hivi nafikiri kila mtu anatupia macho kwa karibu sana, na ndiposa inabidi makamishna hata kama hawatoi matokeo mara kwa mara, nafikiri itawabidi kutoa wasiwasi na kuwapa Wakenya imani kuhusiana na mitambo yao na kuhusiana na vifaa vinavyotumika katika kuweza kutoa chapa na vile vile kuhusisha maajenti wote. Na nisitize kwamba manake nilikuwa kule katika ukumbi wa Bomas si muda mrefu uliopita, kwamba shughuli inaendelea kisawasawa japo kwa polepole, na ni wengi tu ambao wanadhani pengine imekwenda pole sana, lakini ile shughuli ambayo inaendelea kwa sasa ni shughuli kubwa. Lakini kufikia sasa nafikiri niweze kusema kwamba wameweza kuthibitisha na hatimaye kutangaza matokeo kutoka maeneo bunge 15, ikiwa Webuye East, Ainabkoi, Yata, Gatundu South ama Gatundu Kusini, Ndia ambayo iko Kirinyaga, Aldai constituency ambayo iko Nandi, Kaiti ambayo iko Makueni County, Gilgil ambayo iko katika county ya Nakuru, vile vile Nandi Hills ambayo iko katika county ya Nandi, Moiben katika county ya Uasin Gishu, Oljororok ambayo iko katika county ya Nyandarua, Lamu East ama Lamu Mashariki ambayo iko katika county ya Lamu, vile vile Kangundo ambayo iko katika county ya Machakos, Kadhiani vile vile katika county ya Machakos, na hatimaye Baringo ambayo iko katika county ya Baringo. Ni matumaini kwamba katika muda wote kuanzia sasa hadi ifikapo pengine jioni hivi ama giza likiingia, watakuwa wameweza kutoa maeneo mengine bunge. Na bila shaka ni unajua kwamba tutakuwa tunasubiri tulijua hilo. Kumbuka yanapokuwa yanatokea matokeo kama hayo kule katika maeneo bunge, yanarahisisha pia vile vile kuondoa ile hofu, na siku 7 ambazo IEBC wameweza zungumzia kwamba wamepewa kwa mujibu wa sheria kutoa matokeo ya urais. Pia vile vile kuna wengi wanasema japo mna siku 7 lakini msizitumie zote. Msitumie japo 4,
5 kabla wananchi waanze ule wasiwasi mitaani. Mtazamaji, nafikiri hizi ni sura ambazo hivi sasa ndizo ambazo zinazungumziwa sana. Ukiangalia mgombeaji ule wa urais kwa tiketi ya Ruth, Profesa George Wajakoya, mgombeaji wa kiti cha urais kwa tiketi ile ya Azimio Raila Amolo Odinga, mgombeaji pia vile vile kiti cha urais kwa tiketi ya UDA William Samuel Ruto, na hapa kuna mgombeaji wa Agano ambaye ni David Mwaure Waiga. Mtazamaji, hawa ndio ambao watakuwa wanakamilisha tunachozungumza kwamba ni ile mikono mitatu ya serikali. Kwa mkono wa kwanza ni utendaji, ambao utendaji kuna rais, kuna naibu wa rais na kuna baraza la mawaziri. Hivyo basi anayepatikana bora hapa atakuwa anasaidia sana utendaji kufanikisha majukumu yake yeye pamoja na naibu na baraza la mawaziri. Kumbuka katiba yetu imetuambia kwamba hatuchukui mawaziri kutokana na wanasiasa hivi sasa. Unaweza kuchagua wataalamu ambao hawapo katika ulingo wa kisiasa ili wakaifanya kazi nzuri. Na pia mkono wa pili unazungumzia masuala ya bunge. Kumbuka kuna bunge la Senate ambao ndio ngazi ya juu zaidi, alafu kuna bunge la kitaifa, bila kusahau mabunge ya county. Pia mkipata seneta bora, mkipata wabunge ambao wanaotenda kazi bora, na pia vile vile wakilishi wanawake ambao ni bora, baadaye kwenye wadi mchague wale wawakilishi wadi ambao ni wazuri, mtakuwa mmeweza kufanikisha utendaji, mmefanikisha ubunge.
Also known as Keroche is also taking an early lead, and with that Stanley understand that UDA party has taken the day in Nakuru County, and therefore Stanley, I'm right here, of course I'm pitching tent. We are waiting for the elections or the county returning officer to give us the results. In a few he will be of course announcing or making pronouncements here at this particular tallying center, and therefore Stanley, I am here, I'm keeping an eye on this, and I shall be able, of course, to give our viewers, or rather the 47 viewers, to watch, or rather give them the update to what is currently unfolding here in Nakuru County. And so for Stanley, as you can see, the whole process of that is the elections manager in Nakuru County, who is also the county returning officer, who will be able, of course, sometimes or any time from now, he'll be able to give results. Like I had shown you initially, or like I had told you initially, Stanley, is that the current senator for Nakuru, that is Susan Kihika, is right in the building, and we also have Kimani Ngunjiri, of course, who is the incumbent member of parliament, right in the building. We have Tabitha Karanja, Elias, that is Elias Keroche, is also in the building. We have Charity Kadhambi, who is the member of parliament, or rather the incumbent member of parliament, in the building. Of course, all are waiting to listen and also get the results from this particular tallying center. Understand that all results have been submitted here, and of course from the 11 sub-counties here in Nakuru County. Therefore, Stanley, I am here keeping tents, or rather pitching tents. I will be able to give you, or rather to keep our viewers updated to what will be unfolding right here at the Nakuru High Tallying Center, of course, for the Nakuru County results, or rather the results that we're waiting for the whole of Nakuru County. And of course, in a few we shall be able to know who carries the day for the gubernatorial position, whether Susan Kihika will be able to carry the day. Understand the incumbent governor for Nakuru, that is Liki Nanjui, is not here. And of course, the only people who are here are the people that I have stated to you. Stanley, I am on this. I am keeping an eye on this. I shall be able, like I have promised you, to keep you, or rather our viewers, posted to what will be unfolding. Over to you, Stanley. My name is Chichi Josephine.
Right, thank you for that particular update, extensive one, perhaps, Chichi Josephine in Nakuru County. And just to mention, Nakuru County is one particular county that in the next 5 years will pan out to be a particular county governed by a number of women. Susan Kihika, when she is going to be announced as the governor-elect, being one of them, and then the senator, Honorable Tabitha Karanja, CEO of Keroche Breweries, and also the women representative, Honorable Liza Chelule, and then also Member of Parliament, Bahati, Honorable Irene Njoki. Quite an interesting one, that particular race. And then Honorable Jane Kihara, Member of Parliament, Naivasha. Then we have Honorable M. Wangare Gilgil, Member of Parliament, and Honorable Sika Thambi, MP Njoro, and Honorable Mwangi, MCA Bahati. Quite quite a number of women in that particular race. From Nakuru, let's cross over to Nandi County, where Nick Tirop has conceded the defeat after Stephen Sang won and retained his particular seat. Just to take you through those particular numbers, remember, are important in the elections. Stephen Sang garnered 237,045 votes, while now Cleophas Lagat, who was the first governor of that particular county, garnered 55,375. Let's take a look at what Nick Tirop was saying.
Nandi and independent ticket, but we came in third, so we thank God for that. We were 6 candidates, and we came in third after the former governor and the current governor. So we want to wish the winner, which is Governor Stephen Sang, the very best as he engages in the next phase of serving the people of Nandi. We would like to urge him to serve the people diligently. Well, the process was fairly good. We didn't have any malpractices in Nandi. The people spoke very clearly that they were loyal to the party, and the issue of independent had to take a back seat, and I think that is because we have our deputy president as being from this region, and the people saw it fit to have that kind of full support from the ground all the way up, and that is why we saw the pattern in which the people voted, which is almost the 6-piece kind of a pattern. But all in all, we want to wish the winner the very best as he engages the people of Nandi.
Your lessons that you learned from the election?
Well, I think we've learned a lot of lessons. One outstanding lesson is the early entry into the foray is very important because we waited for the party primaries to be over and then we introduced ourselves, and I think we should have done that a long time ago, given that the fact that we had participated in 2017 over the same. So I think that is one of the greatest lessons. The other lesson is, of course, party reigns supreme in this region. So maybe in the next time, as we still have the dream, we still have that dream of serving the people of Nandi, but maybe we need to align ourselves to the party of the day come 2027. Well,
and the whole gubernatorial race, let's cross over to Machakos County, and Nzioka Waita, who was the former chief of staff in the State House, was saying about this particular gubernatorial race.
In the best interest of the people of Machakos, because our people are hungry, our people are in need of good leadership, and our county is desperate for good governance. I am not sure that our people will get this, but it is our hope that the team that will take over the county will deliver this to the people of Machakos. On my part, I want to thank the campaign team, starting with my running mate, Florence Mwangangi, and the chairman of our campaign, Ken Wadome, and the entire team for the work that they have done. I want to take this opportunity to thank the National Executive Committee of our party, all the candidates that we fielded under CCU. We were up against very difficult odds, but even after the numbers have been done what they have been done, we still over 100 and something thousand votes, even after we know what they've done. I'm very proud of our effort, and I want to tell the people of Machakos that we have no regrets in entering this race. We put our best foot forward, but the decision in the politics is You know, as I said, politics is about ideas and tactics. Our ideas were good, but our opponents' tactics were better. We are now open to taking any questions that you may have.
Based on the issues that you've highlighted about irregularities in the voting process, are you contemplating seeking or taking legal action?
Let me be clear. The referee was aware that in the queues, outside the queues, there was voter bribery taking place. They took no action. In the polling stations, the referee was aware that POs were allowed our competitor twice the number of agents inside, and in many cases, in Mavoko in particularly, our agents were thrown out of the tallying of the polling stations. So we can see that some effort was made by our opponents to hold the system captive. If we are able to compile significant evidence and a body of evidence, we will leave that to the advice that our lawyers will give us. But for now, the results where they stand, I think it is only fair for us to say that there is a winner and there is a loser. And we are not the winners. And I want to just take this opportunity to wish the winners the best, because they must act in the interests of the people of Machakos at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Right, some particular political maturity, if you may like to put it, on governors actually coming forward and saying, you know what, I concede that particular defeat, considering, or rather comparing to the 2017 elections when there were so many petitions. Right now, you can see, quite a number of aspirants and candidates to be correct, candidates who are actually coming forth and saying, I concede this particular defeat, but then let's meet and work together. We'll definitely be talking about all of these updates with Dennis Ndomia, governance expert, and David Matsanga, the chair of the Pan-African Forum Limited, to actually discuss all about these particular updates and all of them. Let's cross over to Embu County now, where I'm being told that quite a number of updates also on the whole winners and the losers also. What is happening there?
Niko katika shule ya upili ya Kangaru, ambapo ndiyo kituo cha kuhesabia kura cha kaunti ya Embu, ambapo ukiangalia hakuna shughuli nyingi ambazo zinaendelea tangu hapo jana, lakini kwa sasa ninaona aliyekuwa anagombea kiti cha ugavana kwa tiketi ya UDA Sisire Mutito Barire, na ambaye amezaliwa katika eneo bunge la Runyenje, ambaye alikuwa seneta wa Embu Leni Kivuti, na alikuwa anawania kiti hiki cha ugavana kwa tiketi ya chama cha BAS. Pia amewasili na wagombea wenza wao wote wako ya vituo ambavyo havijamalizika kuhesabiwa kura, na kwa sasa vile tunazungumza tunasubiri la Runyenjes ambayo bado hayajaweza kuwasilishwa katika kituo hiki cha kuhesabu.
Right, one of the foot soldiers in Embu County, Kimotho Karanu, a little bit of some network issues there, but then we'll definitely get all those particular updates in Embu County, one of the whole wider Mount Kenya region, to know what is happening in that particular region. And just to take you up to speed on what is happening on the whole reported Form 34A, and remember, even the whole public can actually access this particular portal and see what is, the whole progress. There's the whole Form 34As, and just to look at some of the Form 34Bs, the whole process is about 75.26%. look at all that and see, is it quite impressive as at now? Is it quite slow? Right now, the whole country is waiting quite for this particular updates, and the IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati has until Tuesday to announce the presidential results. Today is on a Friday, so he only has Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will it be possible. But then I think on yesterday, yes, during his particular updates, Wafula Chebukati said that they will try their best to ensure that they announce these particular results by end of this week. So everyone is really waiting. If probably your week ends on a Friday or ends on a Saturday or maybe ends on a Sunday, we'll see all about that. Let's cross over to Homa Bay County, one particular county that has, spurred quite a lot of controversy. Dennis Otieno, a very good evening to you. What is happening there? Paint us a picture of how Homa Bay County looks like right now.
Well, thank you, Stanley Nyaringita. Now, like you've said it, we're in county number 043, which is Homa Bay County. Now, allow me to give you a recap of the past 12 hours in Homa Bay County. As of 2 a.m. in the morning, Gladys Wanga, who is an ODM party member, was announced as the county, or rather the governor of Homa Bay County. That was at 2 a.m. She emerged victorious after garnering 244,559 votes. So as of 2 a.m., Gladys Wanga was announced as the winner, or rather as the governor of Homa Bay County. Now, moving on, to later on this afternoon at 1 p.m., we saw Wanga's closest challenger, that is Evans Kidero, calling for a press briefing. Now, Kidero, after calling for a press briefing, he said that he is not going to concede, defeat, and saying that he's refuted all the results that have been published by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, saying that, he pointed a blaming finger to IEBC, saying that the tallying process was, or rather had malpractices. So he went ahead to say that he's not going to accept, the results that were put out there, and he's challenging the victory that had been called out by IEBC. Now, we went ahead to ask Kidero if, what would be his next step of action. And Kidero stated that he would be going to the courts and to the appellate court because he wants to follow the law and, what is normally done when, one does not choose to concede defeat. So he will be following, the due process, and he will be heading on to the court. Now, while also stating that he'll be following the law, Kidero also urged his supporters to remain calm, to remain peaceful, and, not to protest, after he'd gone ahead to say that he's not going to concede the defeat. Now, also at the same time, Kidero stated, stated that last night, while Wanga's supporters were celebrating the victory, they channeled violence towards Kidero's supporters. They hacked some of Kidero's supporters with machetes. They pelted their cars with stones, and it was a full-on attack, and, violent scenes emerged in Homa Bay town. That was as of last night at 2 a.m. And, Kidero, looking very irate and, very upset by that incident. So after, his cars were pelted by stones and, some of the residents were hacked by machetes, is what, he went ahead to say that he does not want to see that happening in Homa Bay County. Just briefly, allow me to talk to maybe one or two of the residents briefly, because I understand Chebukati is on standby. Thank you very much for joining us on TV47. Kindly tell us if you agree with the results that were registered and Gladys Wanga emerging victorious, or do you believe what Kidero is saying, that IEBC had malpractice?
Right, and I will definitely be getting to hear what these particular residents of Homa Bay County are saying from Dennis Otieno. Let's cross over to the Nerve Center, which is Bomas of Kenya. And as I had told you, all that particular focus is shifting slowly by slowly to this particular region, and now not to the auditorium, but then just outside those particular the whole residence of Bomas of Kenya, where William Oige is. William, a very good evening to you. Things are looking shiny, and the whole sunshine is there. I believe that you have Nderitu, Laikipia Governor Nderitu Mureithi, yes, right there. What is the whole updates there?
Well, how are you, Stanley, back in studio? You have put it correct. Yeah, slowly by slowly things are shifting to the nerve center of the 2022 general election, that is the Bomas of Kenya. And also at these particular places where the IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati is seated, who doubles up as the national returning officer responsible for the presidential race. But with me, as I promised you earlier, for me here at the Bomas of Kenya, I'm the man on the ground, boots on ground, together with a good team for us is to speak and also to be able to look at things, how things are rolling out here, and to see the end of it, how things are panning out here at the Bomas of Kenya. And it's a pleasure to me. We are joined by the Laikipia Governor, that is Nderitu Mureithi, here at the set, and directly let us engage him. A good evening to you, Bona Governor. Welcome to TV 47.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, how are things in Laikipia County?
We're a bit slow. The many races have taken time to conclude. A number of anomalies that the IEBC is looking into. In particular, incidences where the total number of votes exceeds the registered voters, and obviously there's something wrong. But our understanding is that the IEBC officials are looking into them, and that's why it's taking a bit of time to conclude the races there.
Mm-hmm. Well, here you are, the Bomas of Kenya. You are one among the leaders of Azimio, especially from the mountain.
Indeed.
Some issues of low voter turnout from the region. What could you say about this?
Well, I think it was to be expected. Mainly because the mountain, for the first time in many years, did not have a presidential candidate. So they may feel like they don't have enough skin in the game, so to speak. Because remember, a lot of mobilization of voters is generally around presidential candidates. So that is one explanation. The other explanation, of course, is where citizens are feeling, that perhaps some of the dominant choices presented for them are not what they want. But I think there will be many weeks ahead of analysis as to what really explains the lower voter turnout in the Mount Kenya region. But I'm sure also some of the choices that have already been concluded, what explains those choices.
Well, moving away from Mount Kenya, let's come back to the Bomas, because the focus is now shifting to the Bomas of Kenya. Already tallying has begun. We have seen a number of returning officers from the constituency level streaming into the Bomas of Kenya. So far, so good from the Azimio side. How is the process at the Bomas of Kenya with the counter checking of the Form 34A and B?
Well, look, I think without affecting the generality of the election, there are a number of things of concern. For instance, you'll have noticed, I would say, a curiously high number of instances where electoral officials, presiding officers, returning officers, and so on, are being arrested and brought before a court of law. Now, because these incidences have happened, in Kwale, in Kieni, Nyeri, in different places like that, they raise eyebrows. The second thing, of course, is the sheer time it takes. The way the process works, it takes a long time for the presidential election to be announced officially. And I want to repeat my words carefully here, to be announced officially. But the unofficial provisional result has been known for almost 2 days now. Now, and what's the difference? The difference is that, you see, counting happens at the polling station. So when you close at 5, you immediately organize yourselves and you count the votes. And because no polling station has more than 700 voters, it's quite easy to count. For most of the presidential results, by midnight of voting day, the numbers are already known. Then you transmit using the KIMS kit. And those are the Form 37As that are all the rage, people talking about the public portal of the IEBC. And this, by the way, is a major step forward in terms of reform, because this is the first time that basically the whole world, the citizens who voted and the rest of the world and the IEBC are almost getting the result simultaneously from the individual polling station. But now, the rest of the process is what makes it take long. Because remember, the returning officer, first of all, has to tally for the constituency. So tally for the president, but also tally for the other 5 seats. And that will obviously then take time. Then that returning officer or her deputy has to physically come here to Bomas and bring the form, because the returning officer for the presidency is the chairman, and the forms have to be physically scrutinized. Yes. And that's what therefore makes the process take a long time, because it may take the the returning officer in a constituency 2, maybe even 3 days to conclude the races, the rest of the races there, and then present herself here at Bomas, and that includes travel time. So that's what makes it difficult. But the provisional result is already known. The only thing is that beyond calling it a provisional result, you have to wait until every of the Form 34B and the supporting Form 34As have been scrutinized here, and the returning officer has pronounced himself. And you saw today the commission and its chairman trying to figure out how to hasten the process, adding the number of desks on the tally floor for verification, insisting that you cannot take more than 15 minutes per form, all ways of which of attempting to speed it up. But even if that is working, we are still maybe 10 hours away from a final result. Yeah,
I've seen earlier there were 4 desks, now are gone up to 7.
Exactly.
Talking of the tabulation that IEBC is doing so far, how do you find the process from where you sit?
Well, the process,
apart from being tedious and as from the Azimio side, because you have talked about the tabulation, the provisional results.
Yeah.
Are you confident of a win, maybe?
We are absolutely confident of a win, because we have done the tally. But as the chairman has cautioned us, since we got here, we dare not pronounce ourselves, because it's not our job to pronounce ourselves. But we are quite confident, and the number is ending up quite near 52%, or just shy of 52%. The thing, though, the tally floor is not without drama. You saw a little bit of drama earlier today.
What was it about?
Well, it's because, you see, our colleagues, our competitors have very little regard for rules. So, essentially, on all these 7 desks, every candidate has 2 agents. Okay? So when a returning officer comes with her documents, you must let that returning officer and the agents quickly peruse through. Now, what our competitors like to do is to come and hover, and bring documents and create confusion. And we had enough of it and said enough is enough. I mean, if we are going to follow the rules, then our competitors must follow the rules. And if we are not going to follow the rules, hata sisi tunaweza waonyesha how not to follow the rules. Fortunately, the commission saw our argument, and they brought back order on the floor, and everybody who is not an agent off the floor. Why are we having some sort of senior party officials or political figures from the other coalition roaming up and down, carrying reams of paper, you don't know what they're carrying. So that was a kind of drama.
And we have seen the commission are giving its stand on that and has given a direction on that.
Absolutely.
But moving forward, something interesting.
There are other drama, of course. I mean, the problem difficulty with elections, the longer the time, the more room for rumor, for example, to surface. You know, there were rumors that even media houses hacked. There's all kinds of rumor mill comes up. But so it's not without a bit of drama.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Talking of you're confident of a win. Yes. Interestingly, we have seen the other sides because in this particular race we have. 4 among them, the Azimio side. There are 4 contenders. The other sides also they have shown confidence through social media, different platforms. What do you take, especially of Kenya Kwanza, being confident of a win?
Our colleagues, I would have to say, are quite good at propaganda. On election night, on election day, within an hour or two of counting beginning, they were already releasing lists of winners on social media, and so and of course the problem with it is that it begins to call into question. It brings down the credibility of the election because then people start asking, are you in cahoots with the IEBC? And that is not good for the IEBC at all. So actually it was very bad behavior on the part of our competitors to begin a rumor mill on social media about who has won and who has not won. And they have continued with that up to now, including for the races that are not concluded. Personally, I think it is reprehensible behavior. We should let processes work properly and not purport to speak for the IEBC.
Picking cue from what you have said, IEBC constitutionally has 7 days to announce president-elect. You have seen the process, you've talked of drama at the floor of the auditorium, that is the Uchaguzi auditorium. From where you sit, will IEBC, despite insisting that it is working to expedite the process, will it beat the 7 days?
Oh, I believe so. Look, we are on day 3, first of all, because elections were on Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, today is Friday. Okay, and remember, it's a 24-hour operation. On the first day, you expect it to be slow. And if you look at all general elections, the first day is slow. Why? Because returning officers are concluding things in their constituency tallying centers, even for the other races. By day 2, you begin to see the number of officers who finished on the ground and have come to the tallying center increases. By this morning, the chairman announced there was maybe 130 who were already here, waiting then for the verification process. So you would expect that and you also saw then the commission looking at ways to speed it up. My guesstimate of time, you see, there are 7 desks. The chairman and the commission was trying to push to see if each desk can clear 4 constituencies per hour. That's why we were saying don't take more than 15 minutes per form. You see, a form is a constituency because it's Form 34B, which is a tally of all the Form 34As that come from individual polling stations. Now, if the manages that, then you can do 28 constituencies per hour, which would mean 10 hours, you're finished. Even if you factor in drama and what have you, maybe in 20 hours you're finished.
Fair enough. I can see we are running behind time. Let me ask you this. What was happening yesterday at the KICC? We saw some preparations. What was happening?
Well, frankly, I am not privy and I'm not aware of what preparations those would be, only to tell you that if you listen to Dr. Kenyo this morning in their press briefing, there is a formal assumption of no office committee made up of senior agency leads and senior civil service. Now, once the president-elect is declared, first of all, you have to provide her or him with some temporary working space. You will not expect to go and meet the president-elect in her house or in his house. In this case, they are all men. So, I would not be surprised if KICC is a space being prepared for that, because as a matter of fact, in the last general election, in the previous general election, say in 2013, in 2017, that was a space that was used. There's a VIP type pavilion I think on the first or second floor, or mezzanine floor of KICC, and that, in the last 2 general elections, is a space that has been provided for the president-elect to begin to work from. Because remember, once the president-elect is declared, very formal things kick in. Their security kicks in. They begin to get daily security briefings, read into what is going on in the nation, and otherwise being briefed in preparation for assuming office. So I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary, but I'm not privy to it. But that's my expectation. I mean, look, we fully expect it is the Azimio candidate who is going to be declared president. But believe you me, and I want to encourage Kenyans, all this suspicion. You see, if you look at us, we look tired and haggard. That's because we've been up for weeks and weeks, or days and days. It's not because we are... Look, do not impute things where none really ought not to be imputed. In the last 2 general elections, KICC has been prepared as a temporary office for the president-elect, because they expect to receive formal meetings, receive congratulations, receive foreign delegations, but most importantly, get detailed briefings from heads of security, from senior civil service and so on.
Fair enough. My last question before I let you go. Sure. You are leading a team at the Mount Kenya region to campaign for Azimio leader Raila Odinga. You have seen the numbers. They continue streaming in. Do you think you guys delivered?
Without a doubt, or I should say unequivocally, yes. When you assess electoral performance, you have to take into account a variety of things. Our candidate has received historically very, very low numbers, under 5% in all these areas of Mount Kenya. Now you're seeing him receiving support 25, 28%, 30% in 1 or 2 instances, closer to 40%, 36%. Now that is a major shift in the politics of this country, because for a long time, going back to the time of our grandparents, in the 60s, a narrative had been driven that the mountain and the lake could never ever work together, but we have proven the skeptics wrong, and I think we will see better days ahead.
Fair enough. Well, there you have it from Laikipia Governor Nderitu Mureithi, keeping tabs with him on the happenings here at the Bomas of Kenya. Quite interesting speaking to him on the occurrence that have been taking place here. But remember, more returning officer at the constituency level keep streaming here at the Bomas of Kenya, and soon we will be giving you those numbers as they keep streaming in here at the Bomas of Kenya. But for now, allow me to take it back to you, Stanley in studio. Over to you, Stanley.
Right, thank you for that particular interview with Nderitu Mureithi of the Laikipia governor right now in the basically Bomas of Kenya, and we'll definitely be updating, William Wege will definitely be updating us when those particular numbers start streaming in. Remember, all the focus is shifting to the Bomas of Kenya, and as you can see right now, the live pictures, the commissioners right now are there, and the CEO of IEBC, Hussein Marjan, had ordered that security be beefed up around that particular area. Even journalists had been told to leave that particular auditorium to just have a quiet and serene environment for these particular commissioners to just do their work, so that the referee can actually, do that particular work that they are mandated to do. And in studio, as we had promised you, we do have Dennis Ndombi, who's a governance expert, and David Matsanga, the chair of Pan-Africa Rope Forum Limited, and we'll definitely be getting to interact on how these numbers are shaping up. And I'm actually saying UDA, basically Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, they're having their own separate public addresses. Kenya Kwanza is expected to have their own address at the Catholic University of East Africa, Kwea, and Azimio is expected to have their own public address at KICC. What are we seeing here? You know, the whole we anticipating everyone to have their own side of the celebrations. How this particular number is looking at, and obviously we'll get to look at the number of women who are actually coming up. What does this mean for this particular country in matters leadership? And obviously we are seeing the fallen giants, and mostly also the gubernatorial candidates who are conceding defeat, and we'll try to balance these particular numbers. How many of the governors from the Kenya Kwanza side and how many governors on the Azimio side who takes the basket at the end of the day? What does this mean if Kenya Kwanza bags the whole a number of these particular governors, and what does this mean on the other side of the seesaw in matters the devolution and all of that? Will definitely be keeping up to tabs on those particular numbers. Just to also update you, Gideon Moi has been trounced in Baringo Senate race by William Cheptumo of the UDA. Benjamin Chibboy of the UDA beats incumbent Stanley Kiptis, who was running as independent to reclaim the governor's seat. The two-term senator lost to UDA's William Cheptumo after garnering 71,480 votes against Cheptumo's 141,777. Just to also update you on matters of that particular IBC update, that nobody else is allowed in that particular auditorium, and those coming to Bomas will instead sit at the marked areas of sitting. And we do expect quite a number of updates from IEBC. Remember, they'll be updating us on the constituency of the presidential results. So we do expect maybe even 5 minutes when we start this particular conversation that IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati will be giving us those particular results, quite a number of them, even as this conversation continues. I believe we can start with our guest right here. Good evening, gentlemen.
Very well. How are you? Good evening.
Salama?
Kabisa.
Sir, David, you good?
Yes, I'm okay. Very, very, very okay. Very tired, and I've been on this for a long time, and I expect a very good ending. Kenyans come back together and avoid violence. That's all I'm interested in. The choice is their choice. But if it is not a good choice, I'm more interested in preparations. Election is not one-day exercise.
All right.
It is a long-term preparation. One of the things I have the worry is my friend here might rejoice, I might rejoice, but there is a litany of petitions.
Quite a long.
That one, you might be seeing us here many times. And let's be very honest, we are still coming here. Because there are so many things that went wrong, that we are now, some of us who have been on it, we are now seeing the truth. Some people called me and said, David Matsanga, you are right. I warned the people that ballot papers were not being printed in Greece.
Are you talking about the IEBC
yes,
the transparency of the transmission phase?
Me, I just want to look at the process. You can announce you are whoever you want, but what is the process? Because Kenya has shown an example to Africa. My place, we don't do the things that you have done in Kenya here. In fact, I found my chairman of the Electoral Commission. He hid under the table in one of the hotels because I told him, have you seen? This is not London. This is Africa. I told him, Justice Biamukama, this is how elections are conducted. People have badges, they walk freely, they go to the studios. You people in Kampala, you beat people, even beat journalists. So He said, oh, we are going to improve the one of 2026. You come and take part. I said, no, start now and we improve. Look, on that one, fine. But then there are obstacles also, which might render my friend here whom, as we are offline, you know, he was telling us that he's already done deal. It might render him have more tears because there are men who have sharpened their petitions. And the judges are going to handle them.
If you compare the 2017 petitions and right now, comparing to if you factor in the transparency that IEBC had, having the portal, the public, are we going to see quite a number of petitions?
Very many. For me, my younger officer. You know, he's a younger general, and I am higher in the rank, so he'll keep quiet when I'm talking in military terms. He's a good guy. We don't always fight on TV. We agree, because he's very intelligent.
You come in peace today?
Yes. He's very intelligent. We have always been in peace, but the problem is that we went different ways. We are first in the same place.
All right, back to the question. I'm comparing to 2017.
This one was well done.
Let me answer. I think one of the things that I like is that Kenya is indeed a regional hub of excellence and democracy. And we are glad that our neighbors from Uganda, our brothers, are getting to learn from us. Not just that, the entire congregation, from European Union, from the United States, and other democracies have come here. And when I look at the observers' report from different other organizations, they indeed gave us a very good score. So our elections are indeed transparent. The competitiveness is based on a discourse that, of issues. We have moved from the tribal card at the end of the day. When you look at the entire platform of how elections should be run, I think we're in a very good place globally. And we have a very strong constitution. We are here discussing in the studio. We have allowed our brother to come and give us a regional view. I'm giving a Kenyan view of the same. And so one of the things that I thank God for, and this is really, we attribute this to God, is this kind of environment that he has given us is absolutely great. Now, traditionally, Kenyans have voted in peace. The entire presidents, other than 2017, the repeat election, where there was vote suppression in areas of Nyanza, traditionally we have voted peacefully, and Kenyans have gone home to wait for the results.
But from 2007,
this period between finishing to vote and announcement of results is where the risk and the threat levels have always gone left.
Okay.
And the player has been one, Raila Amolo Odinga. And I like the fact that IEBC said nobody should announce themselves as winner. And what the chairman didn't say, we are saying it. Nobody should swear themselves arbitrary. And what the Inspector General of Police didn't say, we are saying it, that let there be peace within the transitional mechanisms. What the military generals would say, we will say it, is that we want a smooth transition of power. From President Uhuru Kenyatta to President-elect William Samoei Ruto. And we are saying that because we are confident of the data that we have processed. We have looked at the Form 34As that, I saw a tweet from Tanzania saying, my goodness, munaona wa Kenya wana download these forms kama movies. That it is not just the media. Anyone, even in your house in Korogosho or your house in Runda, you can call all your 100 relatives, pick calculators and pens, download and start to punch numbers. So what we are saying is that the true test of our advancement in terms of democracy is between now and the announcement, between the announcement and the transition. We don't mind about litigations. I mean, we are in a democracy where everybody is allowed to go to court, petition what they need to petition, and everybody is ready. You understand, at the end of the day. And petitions are not necessarily bad, because petitions is an instrument of democracy that every citizen is advanced to use.
Kindly, before you continue, let's cross over to Bomas of Kenya. I told you we'll be having this particular regular update, so let's cross over there and listen.
The voters are 155,250. Total valid vote, 91,398. Rejected ballots, 78. Raila Odinga garnered 35,027. Ruto William Samoei, 55,300. Mwaure Wahiga, 339. Wajakoya George, 360. Next result, Kipkelion East Constituency, Kericho County. Total registered voters for Kipkelion East Constituency, Kericho County, 63,679. Total valid vote, 47,277. Rejected ballots, 248. Raila Odinga, 3,303 votes. William Samoei Ruto, 43,898. Wahiga David Mwaure, 33 votes. George Wajakoya, 43. Next result is from Mwingi North Constituency, Kitui County. Total registered voters, 68,829. Valid vote cast, 43,817. Rejected ballot, 282. Raila Odinga, 31,655. William Ruto, 11,508. Wahiga David Mwaure, 230 votes. George Wajakoya, 424. Thank you. We'll come with more.
Right, welcome back again. Remember, those are particular updates. They might be occurring in probably another, so maybe 5 minutes from now, we don't know. But then we'll definitely continue with the conversation that we were having right here. And we're talking about the scorecard of, the IEBC transparency. I don't know if you had finished your...
No, I had not finished. So essentially, I think administratively, IEBC has gone well. It's the political players who have always scuttled the process. And since yesterday we saw something interesting. I received video evidence of the arrival of the ODM brigade at the Citizen Tallying Center. And immediately after that, I think 30 minutes after that.
And just to clarify, you can't confirm that?
I can confirm that. This is my data.
We can't.
That's why I am an analyst independent on your platform, so don't worry, this is my information. It's already on my Facebook platform. So, and immediately after that, sort of the tallying within the media stations halted. Thank God that William Ruto in most media stations, the tally, he had already crossed the 50+1 mark. And instantly after that, then we started to see a systematic assault. With
just a minute, I'm being told that we have some audio problems with the mic.
Suddenly, it wasn't there previously.
Matsanga, when you talk about this particular scorecard of the IEBC transparency, you as a Pan-Africanist, let's talk about how, if you rank Kenya and other countries in our continent, where are we basically right now?
Honestly speaking, you have done very well, Kenya. Kenyans have done very well in terms of elections, in terms of preparation, in terms of some preparations are excellent. Some need to be changed. But the only thing that can stabilize Kenya in terms of elections, so that my dear young brother here cannot again walk around after the election results have been announced, he goes straight to work like South Africa, is change your electoral mechanisms by doing proportional representation. South Africa is stable. You can kill anybody in South Africa, shoot them, rob them, but you cannot. There is no political violence there. On election, no. You can see the result. You can check facts. They steal your bag, they kill you, they rob you daytime, but they don't fight after elections. Malema goes with his MPs in red, attire, sits in parliament in Cape Town. Another white supremacists, those DA, the Democratic Alliance of South Africa, sit in the parliament also. ANC sits in the parliament because they have a system called proportional representation. People don't fight. They sit in the offices and hear the results. That's the only thing Kenya needs to do. In the future, Mr. Tumbi, my brother here, is an educated man with master's degree. Sit down and change how Kenyans can be peaceful before, during, and after. The only thing that triggers you know now what is triggering all this anxiety? It's the constitution and the laws that were brought in, very bad ones, some small things. Look at, you cannot, for example, give journalists the ability to do what they want, but you can even, there's very narrow difference between declaration and publication in terms of English language. If I publish the results, total, which I got from my television station, and I've left it on the computer for people to see, it's the same as, almost the same. Declaration is say, authority, I'm giving you the certificate. But the other one says, I'm here, even if he gives you the certificate, but I'm here. Have you seen for the first time there is a mess? There's a very terrible mess. If you open up your television, 10 of them, put them here in a room. You could, some people outside are calling which result is which one. So some of those laws can create the conflict, the chaos. Kenya is a very good nation. It votes, people vote, they are peaceful, they go home.
Before you continue, and so that I can come back to Nthumbi to finish his point, if media was allowed to actually, showcase this particular tallying in their whole respective or whichever, maybe come together, but then, all right. No, before you continue, let me finish my question. If the media was allowed to actually, tally this, okay, let's cross over to Nakuru County before I come back to my question. I'm being told that Susan Kihika is talking, and Tabitha Karanja, both of them are talking. Let's cross over to there and hear this particular results being announced.
And everybody will hear. If you are not telling me the truth, we will come for you. The county police commander is here. All right. I want to believe that these are your names. We have them here. Your names are Keroche Tabitha Karanja, isn't it? Okay.
Rudisha tena.
Right, those are particular live pictures in Nakuru, and we are definitely awaiting the announcement of Susan Kihika as the governor-elect and Tabitha Karanja as the senator and elect. Let's cross over and continue with our particular conversation. I was asking you a particular question, about the whole the media being allowed to tally these particular results. Moving forward now, I mean, this was the first time that we had this particular, and it was all varying. But then moving forward, do we need particular rules and guidelines to actually say, fine, media, you can actually tally your own results, but then these are the key guidelines that you need to do that?
Yes. First of all, we went wrong. The whole thing went wrong. The media in this country took this particular election wrongly. They fragmented the presidential candidates into two segments. That is not very correct. I'm part of the media, but I have to say the truth, honestly. That was not it. I have never seen where people who are under the Constitution, they have the same, they are fighting for the same thing. Then you say, tier 1 come at 4, tier 2 come at this. No, we killed the morale. That's why these guys are getting 2 votes, 3 votes, 4 votes. If they had been together, they could be pulling some things like those days, Mudavade and Nani.
Right, let's cross over back to Nakuru County and hear this particular announcement of results.
Who on this 8th day of August 2022 has been declared to be the winner of the Senate elections in Nakuru County. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations for winning the election. Now serve Kenyans who are residents of Nakuru diligently. Usipotee ukifanya biashara sana, kuja kwa watu wakuone na waone uongozi. So once again, congratulations and God bless you. The agents, county agents, tafadhali kuja utusaidia hapa. Hili results haitakuwa complete bila wewe agent. Mheshimiwa wako wapi agency yako, amurisha hawa kuja hapa, toa hapo mheshimiwa.
Right, live pictures again from Nakuru, expecting a particular speech, but then maybe she'll do it a little later. Tabitha Karanja right there being announced as the senator-elect, the first ever woman in that particular seat. Gentlemen, a few in Nakuru County. A few words before you continue with
I think from where I'd stopped, one of the things I want to say is that between the voting period, the announcing period, and the transition period, transition of power, is where we have traditionally got it wrong. And unfortunately, the other side is getting very jittery. And the issue has always been the fact that is failure to accept loss and recognize the winner. And that is where we have got in every democracy, in every home, in every society, the strength is that people have to accept that now it is the time for one person to lead us. It's not a hybrid system. So, we're just encouraging our brothers that one of the things we want to do is that we want to lead them and we want to show them what democracy is. We want to show them what economic prosperity looks like. We want to show them what respect of every Kenyan is. And we just want to instill back dignity, the human dignity in this country, and just remove and cast out the issues that have strongly bedeviled this country for a while. Now, speaking about the media, its incapacity to tally, I think it's a capacity issue. But it's in twofold, and my brother mentioned it.
As you answer that also, do you think we need rules to actually govern that?
I think there are rules. There currently. There's a regulatory framework.
Rather to be revised?
What happens is that media sprouts out of Chapter 4 of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Mm-hmm. And the work of media essentially is to ensure that information is relayed out there in an impartial manner at the end of the day. What happened is that this time round, you remember that the accusation in 2017 where, you're not transparent, servers imefungwa and all that. So what Chebukati did this time round is say, give them the raw data. Open the server for them and show them the forms as they are. So the media, the entire fraternity was not ready to process the entire of this colossal amount of data. And also in the country, there's an opportunity to develop data journalism. There's also an opportunity for media houses to do fact-checking. There's an opportunity for media houses to be able to process comprehensive or complex data and just simplify it to the mwananchi. And to date, there's no local media station that has been able to consume the data and relay it. However, there's something interesting that is doing. The international media stations, all of them are doing tallies, and they are way ahead. In fact, when I looked at the likes of BBC and everybody else, actually they are at 75%. And you can see the link is online. They have massive tally centers. So there's always an opportunity to learn. There's always an opportunity to grow. I think I am not, on the data aspect, I'm not going to be very hard on media. Because this is a first. It's a first. So going forward, even in, the rest of the other small elections, I think there's an opportunity for Media Council, media owners, and the guild to just sit together and see how do we then advance this capacity together, rather than letting one media house die on its own and struggle to project information that they cannot process themselves.
Right. Those particular live pictures in Kakamega, that particular announcement, you can cross over and listen into those celebrations.
This one, let that come. You should have come this side. Oh, that one. Okay. But your second side. For the light. Congratulations. Job well done.
Harusi tunayo hatuna?
Tunayo. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can make a bit now.
Right, those particular live pictures in Kakamega, and we'll definitely be getting those speeches. I'm seeing she's holding a microphone. I don't know if she's about to make a speech right now, and we go back there and listen in.
The people of Kakamega County. Nashukuru wakaazi wa Kakamega County kwa kunichagua tano tena. Na pia nashukuru my worthy opponents, pia hawa walijaribu, they fought a good fight. Nashukuru pia my campaign team, walichukua muda mwingi sana kufanya planning. Na mimi nataka kuambia watu wa Kakamega County, asante sana, mimi nitamfanyia kazi, na saa hii mimi ni kama miwa ya hatuni. Hiyo mbeleni nilikuwa kama miwa ya plant. Niko tayari kufanya kazi na kila mtu Kakamega County. Niko tayari pia kwa nyumba ya mama, iko na makao mingi. Kwa wale wapinzani wangu, karibu sana. Na pia mimi kama mwanachama wa ODM ninafurahi kwa maana hapa Kakamega County tumepata wabunge 9 ukiongeza mmoja wa DAP. Azimio tuko na wabunge 10 na mimi ndio mbunge wa 11. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru watu wa Kakamega County kwa kuchagua wabunge wa Azimio. Na mimi natumaini ya kwamba hata hapo juu Raila Amolo Odinga atapata ushindi kama baba the 5th. Asanteni sana. Mungu afanye nini? Ambariki. Amen.
Right, that is that particular speech by LC Mohanda, yes. And there was quite a whole, the whole UDA kind of the whole yellow fever in that particular room.
Yellow fever, so. No, it must be an undercover. No.
Let's gentlemen, let's go back to that particular conversation of the IEBC transparency and the whole media, getting allowed to actually tally these particular numbers before we cross over to.
In conclusion, what I was saying, I think that capacity can be dealt with jointly, and I think it's absolutely important for us to grow the media space, even into commissions. You understand? Into commissions that essentially fortify your work as journalist. There's a lot of data to consume. There's a lot of ethics to work on. I think one of the areas that was violated, if you ask me, within the entire electoral process is the concept of the principles of covering an election or through. I think media became partisan. In fact, there's a research that was done that showed two things. Number one, that the reporting is absolutely, many of the media houses attract partisan viewership. Essentially, if I favor my candidate, if I'm Azimio or if I'm Kenya Kwanza, I'll basically go through the channels and see, and go to the one that technically, quote unquote, supports my candidate. So that partisanship pulls us into the polarization of the country. There's also been a lot of scripting. You remember the hammering of Rigathi Gachagua through the media and many other things. So I think the media has committed some sins from a principle, ethical and moral perspective that they need to repair. And then going forward, one of the things that they need to do is treat the bias and ensure that they report from a place where it's impartial, and they become then the protectors and the purveyors of democracy, not essentially injure it. And I know a lot of this motivation is business. So we need to see how do we medicate the business part of the media. From where I stand, sincerely speaking, if I was in Parliament, I would second financing by the government. And it's financing from an independent point whereby there's no control. You get it? And that's a space where I'll go going forward. So going forward, we need to see how is the disposure of the media from a moral and ethical perspective, and then how is their professional aptitudeness in terms of handling with a lot of these logistics. I think it's extremely expensive for the media at their own cost to cover an election countrywide, polling station by polling station, and then to report the same without even any financial help from the state. And also the ability for them to process and produce data and make it as simple as possible. So by the virtue that IEBC can say, look, we have allowed you to come and report, but do you care how we got here? Do you care under what nature we got here? So I think it's important for us to see how do we hold the Fourth Estate family so that they can prosecute that matter.
Indeed, quite a number of these particular announcements of the senatorial elect, the gubernatorial elect, and we'll really have to. I do apologize to my guests that really have to intervene at the bit of it. I'm being told that right now we're looking at Nakuru County, but then let's cross over to now Kakamega County, I beg your pardon, where Boniface Halwale has actually being announced.
Thank you, congratulations.
So you want me to say something?
Yeah.
Where is Washeli?
I'm here.
Where is Mohati? Tiga? Where is Tiga? Boniface? Thank you very much. This is a crowning moment, not just for the people of Kakamega, but for the Republic of Kenya. The people of Kakamega have voted me in as the senator of this great country, and I want to thank them. I want to thank them because they have voted across political parties. They have voted across the sectorial ethnic leanings in this county, and they have voted and given Kenya an opportunity for all those Kenyans on all social platforms and all other platforms that have been waiting that the bullfighter goes back to Parliament to bring the same standards that we left there when we first served this country. I am really, really humbled. I therefore want to make a commitment here on this same platform that I was in 2013 announced the winner for this position. On this same platform, where in 1980 I stood here as the top student in Kakamega High School when I was joining the University of Nairobi to become a doctor of medicine. I have taken this path, you people of Kakamega, detouring from my professional calling as a doctor, because I believe deep inside my heart that the children of the poor also have a chance in this country. My mother was a changa brewer, and my father used to sell pieces of cane, sugarcane,
at Marinya Market. And that is how I arrived here. They were very proud parents. I am lucky that I have found a friend with a similar background. Children who have beaten all the odds in an African family to become top-notch professionals. That friend of mine, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, will also tonight be announced as the President of Kenya. On behalf of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, who is going to be the 5th President of Kenya, I am thanking the people of Kakamega, in particular, and the people of Western Province, and the people of Kenya in general, for allowing this country to rewrite the history that indeed God creates his children, such that none of them is a lesser child of God. Today, you have had results. You have had the chest thumping that this party got so many MPs and what have you. It's nonsense. I now feel challenged as a legislator that as we go back to Parliament, we must review the Elections Act.
Correct.
So that the nonsense that we saw taking place in polling stations, where Kimskits failed, discouraged our voters from coming to the station, where agents of candidates of our competing parties were using county government resources to buy votes. We want to tweak the law so that this does not happen again. We want to go to Parliament, dear Kenyans.
Right, those particular live pictures from Kakamega County, the Senator-elect Boni Khalwale donning the beautiful regalia. I believe it is the whole skin of maybe the Luhya regalia. Let's cross over to Nakuru County, where they are announcing the gubernatorial results.
Karanja Stanley garnered 8,685. Kiika Susan garnered 440,707. Mayani garnered 225,623. Let me finish. Mungai James Kiari garnered 1,649. Munywa Nicholas garnered 697. I therefore declare Honorable Susan Kiika
Right, a whole journey from the senator all the way to the governor-elect. It is a room filled up with cheek-to-cheek kind of a smiles. You can actually even feel that particular excitement. We were having some banter here, and that particular yellow fever cutting across that particular county, a county filled with the women leaders, and it is quite an interesting one. Gentlemen, let's continue and focus on something else. Deputy President William Ruto and his presidential running mate Rigathi Gachagua have gone to court to block the petition of their swearing in. This is basically through the lawyer Elias Mutuma. What do you read on this? I'll start with you, Ntombe.
I mean, of course, what happened is that our colleagues or our distant cousins are very afraid. They were afraid and they knew that William Ruto will win these elections fair and square. The journey to prevent William Ruto's presidency has been a chronology for many years. They have done everything. They cited, they spoke. He will not be on the ballot. They tried to, to remove him out of the presidency. Thank God that there is immunity that he has constitutionally. They said many things. They injured him. They hunted him day and night. They tried to evict him from the hustler's mansion. They did this and they did that. They will do this and they will do that. At the end of the day, because there's a God in heaven, William Ruto will be the president of this country, without no doubt. So, of course, what we want to do, they want to put Kenya into a constitutional quagmire or a conundrum. They want to trap the entire country into a space where we will enter into emergency at the end of the day. As a security expert, that petition in itself is one of the most dangerous setups I have ever seen, indeed. It will trap the country into anarchy because what it will do, it will lengthen the space of the in-sitting president away or outside the constitutional limits. You understand? Because it's putting us in a very wrong place, from a security perspective and constitutionally. So I believe that the court is mature enough to see this as mischievous, to see this as a setup to destroy this country, and they will throw it out whatsoever. Because there's no evidence against William Ruto. Kenyans have voted him overwhelmingly. They love him. He's going to bring justice into this country. He's going to thrive everybody's economy. And let me tell you something. JM Karaoke fought for the poor. Everybody in this country who fights for the poor, who fights for the trodden, who fights for the sick, who fights for orphans and widows is hated generally by the autocracy and the system. The kakitocrats that have run and terrified this country for long, they don't want a liberator like Ruto. But I can tell you the truth. I will come here and with my brother and we shall celebrate that Ruto is the president of this country. In Jesus' name.
You are going to celebrate with who?
Daktari,
we'll celebrate together.
When you look at this particular updates that the Deputy President William Ruto heading to court together with his presidential running mate Rigathi Gachagua to block this particular petition to have them in case they're going to be sworn in if they're going to be elected. What do you read?
That they should not. That this committee should not swear them in. What is the petition about? I got it wrong. I did. That one went. They have gone to stop the swearing in ceremony. Is it? They don't want the chief secretary of the cabinet to swear them in, to make arrangements.
Okay. Basically, there was a petition filed to the Supreme Court that regarding Rigathi Gachagua, the whole land case, and this particular petition stated that in case Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto are going to be sworn in, that they are blocked to be sworn in. Pending this particular land case.
They are convicts. They are convicted.
Convicted by who?
No, wait. Please, you had your time. Let me now injure you. And that
it's not possible.
No, you will have the pain now.
No, it's not possible.
Let me show you how Ruto was a convict. And he's a convict. Ruto.
Backed by evidence, I hope.
Yes, of Muteshi. No. Let's begin with Muteshi land. The court.
Hold that particular thought.
Because
let's cross over to some speeches. Let's cross over to some speeches in these particular speeches in Nakuru and listen into what they are saying.
You are always stopping me, but
yeah, bora tu kitu tunataka tu ni amani tu. Ndio.
Asante sana. As you have heard it, so
tuseme asanteni sana kwa wale wako hapa leo, na asanti sana kwa Mungu wetu. Najua tumetembea safari na Mungu ndiye amefanya tufike hapa leo. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru Mungu. Nataka kuchukua nafasi hii pia nishukuru watu wa Nakuru. Asanteni sana kwa kunichagua niwe seneta wenu. Najua I owe the Nakuru people my service kwa sababu wamenichagua na the biggest votes. I know I'm the highest votes as the senator of Nakuru County. I know I won in all the polling stations across the Nakuru County. I promise you that we'll work for you. Thank you for the trust you've given to me. Thank you for the love that you've shown me. Mine now, as we end this campaign, and now we take the certificate, I can only promise you that now we'll start working for you immediately, and you'll see our work, and I will not let you down. As a senator of Nakuru County, I'll ensure that I represent all your interests at the national level through the Senate. I'll represent all the Nakuru people and their interests at the national level through the Senate. I'll make it a priority to hold the Nakuru County government on your behalf for the resources and the mandate you've trusted them to hold on your behalf. As I'm doing it at the corporate, the leadership, the leadership that I've shown in the corporate is the same way I'm going to ensure that I show the same leadership as I head the Nakuru County as the senator elected now as the Nakuru County. I'll ensure that I champion laws that are favorable to the Nakuru people and the Kenya as a whole, and ensure that they are favorable to our businesses and to all of us as the people of the Nakuru County and to the people of Kenya. I know it's a county of women. This is a county of women. We will not take it for granted. We will not take this for granted. As we work, we'll always remember that what we wake up for is not just for ourselves. It is for the future women of this county and of the country. I know I'm lucky because I'm entering into the shoes of our former senator, the incoming now governor. I know the environment that I'll get, it will be conducive so that we work and we don't waste time for the people of Nakuru. The elected women, I'm very sure, we are very grateful, and we'll only wake up to know that our job is to work for the Nakuru County people. Me, I can promise you, as a senator, the way you've given me, that mandate to become your senator of the Nakuru County. I will not let you down and ensure I work tirelessly to ensure that I hold the county government and ensure that the money, the resources that we bring to the Nakuru County, they are only used in the Nakuru County and for the Nakuru people. With that, now look at the space, this space, and you see what women can do. I know it is the first county that we have elected the majority women, and we will not let the women of Kenya, the women of the Nakuru County down. We'll always remember as we work, we will always remember that we are working for the future generation of our children, of our daughters, and of our future women of this country. It will prove to the world that women can do better than what men can do. We will be determined to ensure that women of this country are given what they deserve, the respect that they deserve. Thank you very much for giving us that honor and accepting that women can do good and will not let you down. Thank you so much. I'm really emphasizing on that women as you sleep, men of this county as you sleep, be assured that we will not let you down. We'll ensure that women of this county will be elected many years to come. We'll work for you. We will assure you that we'll work for you. And as a senator of this county, having come from the corporate world, I'll ensure that the leadership that I've done in the corporate world, I'll ensure that it will be felt in this Nakuru County. I'll ensure that as I walk around the county, empowering the women, empowering the youth, and ensure that all that is felt across the county, Nakuru County. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I love you. And the Nakuru County people, I love you. I'm so honored, humbled, and I thank my God. That is a journey I've walked. It was new for me. The politics, new for me.
Right, quite a long, extensive, elaborate speech by a CEO. It is a story of from the boardroom all the way to the podium, from the corporate industry all the way to politics. It is quite a controversial phase, not new to the public. Tabitha Karanja, the CEO of Keroche Breweries Industry, being announced as the senator-elect, and we'll definitely, I think, we'll definitely be looking at that. We'll definitely continue as we wait also for more speeches on that and live pictures from Nakuru. One word or two about this particular.
That is the senator. Can I make a comment?
On the Nakuru, I think it's been unfortunate that the journey that she's been taken through, especially on matters of her business, the fact that due to political interest, and not just political interest, there's something that we call the market democracy, the ability of all of us to do a business with fair competition. There's a company that is being launched in Nakuru, a beer company. I don't want to mention them because of brand integrity issues. And that's the reason why her business was shut. Her business was not shut because of tax issues. I think we have to be very honest and all that. Her business was being shut because somebody wanted her competition shut down.
Does she have tax issues?
Of course, she has to fix the tax issues that all of us have to fix the tax issues that are there. But the frank thing, the reason why her business was shut down wasn't because of that. I mean, there was competition issues. If you go to Nakuru today, you'll know that the president the other day launched a beer company in Nakuru. You understand? That's the reason why they went for Tabitha. We don't hide. And unfortunately, one of the things that must be respected, and that is the Kenya Kwanza dogma, that every hustle matters. Every business must be respected. I am a player within the security sector. He has interest in the security sector. I have never desired to cut him off. When he thrives, I know that the security sector will grow. More people will be employed. There's going to be more advancement within the sector. He will go out and bring important things. I'll do the same. So we must never look at each other and seek to cut each other from a business perspective. And unfortunately, that's part of the critical tagline. One of the things that will plague President Uhuru for a very long time is because he used his position, he used policies, he used finances to silence other business partners, especially within Mount Kenya. So we know that there was a systematic attempt not for there to be financial expediency within Mount Kenya. We don't hear of, you remember Karaoke? Karaoke, the billionaire who was scattered off and whatever it is that there is. Everybody who had money in Mount Kenya, he came for them. And we know that there is that disposure that if you're a billionaire within Mount Kenya, then you will have financial and political expediency that they don't like because they sit within a doctrine we call Odhamakistan, and it's not a good doctrine. Everybody must be able to thrive. Everybody must be able to define their prosperity. And everybody is free to be a billionaire in this country. The Kenyan dream is supported within the constitution that there has to be adequate expediency. Where you grow, you work hard, you grow.
Dr. As you continue to answer that particular question that I had asked you about, DP Ruto and Gadegasha going to court, one or two words, or maybe one or two sentences about Tabitha Karanja's election as a senator.
What my brother here is not saying, their party is full of convicts.
Not true, of course.
I want to summarize. You were talking, I was quiet, and I want to pain you more today. So you just be cool and listen to my wording. Ruto was convicted of taking Muteshi's land, fined by the court. He never appealed. Up to today, he's a convict. Whether civil or whatever, criminal, and you have been convicted, sentenced by the court, and they say, because you grabbed the land, you have to pay 5 million per compensation. This other guy had 200 million on his account. It came by miracle after Mr. Tumbi prayed. You know, he's a good priest. He's a pastor. He prayed, and the money landed in Kachagua's account. There you are. They have it. Now, the court found that he could not explain how the money landed there. Is that not a convict? You can appeal, but you have already been convicted. Waruke can appeal up to Angel Gabriel, but he's convicted. 67 years he was supposed to serve.
Cleaned up by Azimio.
No, wait, haven't you cleaned up Kachagua? Why don't you throw him out?
I'm helping you with the point.
I'm
helping you with the
point. Please don't help me. Me, I'm on both sides to fight corruption. If you're a convict, you're a convict. Ruto's team is a team of convicts. If the vote comes today, the tallying is finished that they have selected Kachagua and Ruto. They are convicts. The first phase, that's why they are running to the Supreme Court. They know very well that someone will go there and say, hello, you are the same judges going to see a petition here, hello. But this guy has not explained the 200 million. He knows he's not a lawyer, he's a security guy. Keep quiet. You did not study law this side.
But constitutionally, they have the rights to
we allowed them the confusion in Kenya and the constitution. For example, sir, can I ask you, do you know where the men who stole money from Thika KCB Bank dug a hole and got to the ATM machine? Do you know that where they are now? Are they in jail? Do you hear of that money? Do you hear of that case? My brother here, Dennis, will tell you, those guys went a long time ago. They are free, they are enjoying. Here, don't blame people. He's blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenyatta went and did this. Kenyatta has never. Kenyatta found already the business empire there. Kenyatta never went and grabbed anybody. His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has not grabbed anybody's thing. He found the things were there. He took over like him. His father has left him a land where he has put a house in Kirinyaga. He didn't buy it. Did you buy it?
Which one?
The land you have put a house. I've taken photographs. I can show
Which
people.
ones?
Can I show the photographs of the people?
There's nothing.
If you want, I show. So let me tell you, first of all, he inherited his father's land. He's coming here to condemn those people who have also inherited their father's property. Kenyatta inherited an empire of business. Why are you condemning him? If Ruto did not have his father to inherit anything, let him blame the father and the angel, Gabriel and Jesus, produce him on earth. He shouldn't blame others. You see these guys in UDA like him. They have come with this thing of, if we take power, if we do this, you are going to spoil this country. We are going to spoil this country. If you come with that type of vengeance, that when you take power, you are going to get some people. This woman, lastly, this one is a tax fraudulent evader. She should not be in here in a microphone. In fact, I'm sorry. Even my stomach is about to burst because you put her.
Let's cross over to back to Nakuru again and listen to that particular speech.
Let's see the liberators talking.
I can listen to Kihika's daughter because I fought with Kihika in Kenya when you are young.
Successful today and been declared the governor of Nakuru County. I also take this chance to thank the people of Nakuru County for believing in me, for having faith in me, for supporting and loving me. I do not take it for granted, and I want to tell you, all the people of Nakuru, those who voted for me and those who did not, I want to promise you that I will work for all of you, and I will work very, very hard to make Nakuru prosper, to bring up our economy, to make sure there is water in our households, to make sure that I have supported agriculture, to make sure there is medicine in our hospitals, to make sure the roads and the markets and everything are taken care of. So to the people of Nakuru, may the good Lord bless you for really, truly believing in me. I also take this chance to thank my husband, Sam Boro, who is right here today. I know they often say that behind every successful man is a woman. But I want to tell you in this case, behind these successful women are great men as well. And he's one of them. He has really supported me, and I tell you, you all know I am quite a fireball. So for a husband to put up with me may not be very easy. So I take the opportunity to thank him for being a patient man who has supported me through this political journey where propaganda is so high that as a husband, if you're light-hearted, it might be a very difficult journey for him. I also take the opportunity to thank our children for being there, for understanding the many hours that I am away, or we are both away from home, because we've been on the campaign trail together. The many hours that we have taken away from them to be able to go around this county, go around to every constituency, every ward, every village, every town, and every corner of this county, selling our vision and agenda. And the children have been there for us, supporting us, Tiffany, Jessie, Abi, and Ashley, and Chantel, and the others. So thank you so much. I also take this opportunity to thank our parents. They are here with us. They are great mothers here, and they have...
Right, another whole story of the whole women leadership from the senator to the governor-elect, and definitely quite a county that has been filled with that particular women in leadership. We're obviously talking about DP Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua going to court, the Supreme Court, to block the petition of the swearing in. But then at the end of the day, we leave matters of the court to the court until a ruling is made. I want us to focus on something else.
Yes,
allow me.
As I finish. No, I hadn't finished.
1 minute you finish so that we can focus on something else.
For me, they can become whatever they are, if they are elected by the people of Kenya. But I'm sorry, I shudder. I'm not part and parcel of thieves and convicts.
Allow me to respond. We are glad you're Ugandan, you're not Kenyan.
Yes, no, but I'm an East African. It doesn't matter.
Leave the affairs of Kenya.
I have left.
I think, respectfully.
Yes.
William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are honorable gentlemen. And I want to apologize to them on behalf of my brother.
What?
For the nefarious insults.
It's not nefarious.
Spurious allegations.
Don't use those
that
words from Oxford.
That he has done.
I was in Oxford before you, so please, cool.
So what I'm saying, what I'm saying, I mean, I
have no problem.
And that's the reason why I'm apologizing.
Yes,
on your behalf.
I have no problem.
You understand?
The thing is, I have a problem with Mr. Ruto.
No, the thing is, I was in the same show when these things were being spoken. And I am my brother's keeper. So what I want to do is that let me take the liability for his anger. But I don't know whether I'll take the liability for his lies. So I think that's where I draw the dichotomy. Okay. Now, the truth is, these are honorable gentlemen. I don't want to say the character of the people that my brother is working with now, but let me give you a scenario. The people he's working in now own a butchery. And when a customer comes who buys 1 kilo, they give you 3/4 and throw the other piece of meat on the side. But when the cat eats, they want to prosecute the cat for eating stolen meat at the end of the day.
So who's the cat and the customer?
I don't want to say who is the cat and all that.
My brother knows.
What I'm saying is that he supported
let him finish
during the journey of ICC, by the way. He spent a lot of money supporting both. Yes. So this hate and like is not based on matters of integrity or morality. It's a personal thief that he will heal from. When we take power, I will fast 7 days for his healing. And I know that the healing will come when he's asleep and the Lord will touch his heart and he will start singing praises for Ruto. Right. Wait and see. Now, let's go about, let's talk about critical things.
Oh my God.
The critical things that I want to say are these. The case in court, number 1, is sponsored by the same individuals who have been saying, we will not hand over power. By the same individuals who have been saying, you're a son of nobody, you cannot become a president. By the same individuals who, during COVID, their relatives stole tons of money at the end of the day. By the same people who grab land by force, meant for schools and many other things, universities and whatever it is that there is. By the same individuals who have no respect for the commoner. In fact, when I was coming today, I was saying Kenyans can be harsh because they have fired all these guys. Send them home. In fact, it is terrible to imagine that the seat of presidency is a seat that lives forever. No. One day you will leave. And that's where Kenyatta is today. It is also good for us to learn now, based on the experience that we've seen on the vote, that it is not Kenyans to be scared of the government. It is the government to be scared of Kenya. But the case in court will, again, vindicate the deputy president and Rigathi Gachagua. Why? Because it is posited there upon the principles of Chapter 6. And let me tell you something. Chapter 6 has 4 areas that we look at. The first one is essentially what we call personal integrity. You will tick the box for Ruto. He is an honest man. He respects people. He is dignified. He is honorable. The second box is what we call professional integrity. He is competent. He is the most competent president we have ever had after Kibaki. He inspires public trust and he is objective in service. The third one in Chapter 6 is public service responsibility. Ruto is accountable. He is disciplined. He is transparent. He avoids conflicts of interest. The fourth one, in closing, is public service dedication. Again, he is accountable. He is selfless in service. He is corruption-free, not driven by power, and he is committed at the end of the day. I can tell you something.
To be fair,
the last 5 years...
A minute, on that particular list, will you clarify again, rather not clarify, but then list Raila's character traits on the same?
I have no interest in representing Raila. That is why I have not worked with him in the political journey. My friend is here to do that. That is why you have called us. I'm from Kenya Kwanza. You understand? I respect Raila as a Kenyan, but I don't respect the fact that he has injured my democracy for the last 40 years. And that's the reason why we want to send him to Bondo.
But there is nobody
on a wheelbarrow. But listen, allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. We have a nice motorized wheelbarrow that will take him to Bondo on retirement. But let me tell you something.
You might be going tomorrow.
No, I mean,
you are going.
We were there yesterday. I mean,
yes,
that is
you are going.
You understand?
Back to the coach.
Back to the question.
Yes.
You know,
are they thieves?
From where we sit, the last 5 years, you can say that the Deputy President and Rigathi Gachagua have not had political immunity. And therefore, they have been judged, they have been prosecuted, all manner of things have gone through them, they have been vindicated. Today, there is absolutely no criminal charge on any of them. The issues that my brother is portending here are matters that have been prosecuted within the media space. There is no criminal case on His Excellency William Ruto. Otherwise, IEBC wouldn't have cleared him. There's no criminal case on Rigathi Gachagua. There's no criminal case on anyone in Kenya Kwanza. Waluke, the person he said, who the court said pay a certain amount of money, is in his political space. Why? Because that is the laundromat of all kakistocrats, the hamsters who eat Kenya from the back at the end of the day. If you want Mwosho Moja, you're as corrupt. Even Satan looks at you and is shy. You understand? That is the space where all these characters are. Why? Because that is a space now that you will get political immunity at the end of the day. Let me tell you something. The last 5 years, it's not allegations. The last 5 years
of people who
let's wrap up the whole court.
Yes,
at the end of the day, the ruling will be made final by the Supreme Court. So we'll have to wait for that.
You see what happens? It doesn't hold any water. That's what I'm telling you.
When you say Ruto,
every case
is a clean man. Was he not convicted?
Every case. You know, even the Muteshi Lansaga, you remember during the presidential...
Did he appeal?
Do you remember the presidential debate?
Did he appeal?
He spoke.
Did he appeal?
It was a land deal that he was
sold. Go and advise him to appeal.
By conmen, possibly, who have voted as Emio in. And he paid the fine that the court said.
And appealed.
You understand?
Has he appealed?
Let's cross over from the whole court.
No, what I'm saying is that I have hardly talked. My brother has been shouting all through. Okay. My eardrum is almost running crazy. You know, at the end of the day, what we are saying is,
brother is bringing lessons of class. I pass class.
I am trying
at the end of the day
to articulate issues by deploying intellectual tranquility.
Yes.
And my brother is turning this into a shouting match. I want us to go back to the place where we can discuss as scholars.
Because you are taking it too long.
Because I also know him as a scholar. I haven't taken long.
Let's
In closing,
let
me say this.
Let me keep quiet now.
The president of this republic, and by the grace of God, and we've seen that the numbers are right. That is why my colleague is here shouting, they're in the streets shouting, they're in Bomas shouting, is going to be William Samoei Ruto. By the grace of God. We are at the mercy of God at the end of the day. And we have asked Kenyans to also have mercy on us to help us rule. That's number one. Number two, his deputy will be Rigathi Gachagua. And I can tell you the truth, and I'll be here with you after 5 years by the grace of God. Kenya will change. I know these people personally. I don't throw stones at, you know, when you see somebody throwing stones at something, it must have good fruits. Kenya will change to the better. And this is an assurance I can give all Kenyans. Your economy will change. You know, something that will enter homes is something we call the gross domestic happiness. Including my brother here will rejoice because there'll be more money to him, legally. You understand? You will have a space where your journalism can be practiced without anybody influencing. We will not employ you and give you a script and tell you now you have to sing songs of this person. You understand? You will be an integrous person that can practice and that can call out. One of the things that Ruto has said is that, you know what, I want to be held accountable. I want to be held accountable. I want to strengthen the force state. I want to strengthen the police force. I want to give them an independent budget. I want to strengthen judiciary. I want to give them an independent budget. Every arm in the constitution every institution that is charged with fighting corruption, I want them to hold us accountable. I want us to be presidents that are held accountable on any corruption case. And why is that important? Because traditionally, corruption has always emanated from the presidency. All the days from Kenyatta I, who mutilated our constitution 35 times to make himself king, an imperial president. All the way to Kibaki. Kibaki was followed by Goldenberg. All the way to, Moi, you can see Moi, then Kibaki, then you can see Kenyatta I, Kenyatta II. In the second phase of Kenyatta II, the kind of corruption that have emanated have even injured morality. When you eat money for the sick, when you eat money for the dead, essentially. In Africa, we don't do that. That is a taboo. So their corruption crossed even the taboo line. And in closing, I have said this.
Please, you are,
principally.
We
are going to look at a Kenya that every man and woman will thrive. Don't be jittery and don't be upset by the words of our neighbor from Uganda. Trust me as a Kenyan, is that one of the things that we are going to do is that this country will be a mirror of democracy and what works. And that's the reason why we want them to live long. We want him to live long. We want Kenyatta to live long. We want to show them this is how governance is done. And this is how to put money into the people's pockets. One of the doctrines that they have brought through, they have published a book called How to Make Every Kenyan Broke. So we want to publish another book of how to make every Kenyan a millionaire.
Let's cross over to something else, because I'm pretty sure this whole discussion of the court and all, we would be here for the next 2 hours.
You have given me opportunity.
Now I'm giving you that particular opportunity. Right now in the Catholic University of East Africa, around Karen, the United Democratic Alliance is sent to address the public, while on the other side of town, KCC, Azimio, is expected to address the public. This particular whole, are we reading confusion? What are we reading here, Dr.
If you can see a younger man like this one who was very good 5 years ago, and he's now changed completely.
Did you know him 5 years ago?
Yeah, no, more than 5 years ago.
Okay.
I haven't changed. I've changed for the better.
No, wait, let me. If you see somebody who was so nice in the village, and all of a sudden, he turns into a wizard.
I'm not a
Which
wizard.
I'm not saying. You are not a wizard. You get scared. I'm with you. See, you know, Matanga is usually a man who says it, but today I'm very scared. There is he's a pastor, by the way, but he preaches something which is a doctrine that I have not known.
Why are you scared?
I'm scared because of that doctrine. There is something in him of revenge.
None whatsoever.
Calling others. You see, he has already called me a Ugandan. When we used to eat together, they drink the same.
No, but I'm a Kenyan and you're
no, wait,
let's go back. Let's go back to that particular question that I had asked you.
Yes.
These two particular fronts are, are expected to address the public. What are you reading into this particular situation?
Exactly. I was coming. If you have an advisor like this one, then you have a problem. You have a presidential candidate who might be telling us that he has already seen God told him that he had won. As far as the results are concerned, we have not seen the results declared by the IEBC. Therefore, nobody has won yet. He has tallied his, I have tallied mine, you have tallied yours, you continue to tally. Until Chebukati announces the winner, then we can see which way to go. But it looks like my brother was a computer magnate and was programmed already. He assumes that he's in power. In fact, he's even inviting me over an imaginary feast that does not exist. So too, when you see this type of press conferences, he talks about discipline. Who was chased out of Bomas today? By the IEBC. Is there anybody from Azimio who was chased out? No. Who was chased out? Gladys Shore.
No, that is not true.
And we saw it. Who was caught with a computer gadget which was confiscated by IEBC? Gladys Shore. Who went to the IEBC bombers to disrupt everything, to make journalists. Journalists now are suffering outside in the cold. They are not allowed in the auditorium because of Moses Kuria and Aaron Cherot.
Not true.
No, but we saw it on TV. I saw it. I saw it. You want to kill me that my eyes are Uganda and they don't see? I saw. My friend, I'm a soldier. I was a soldier before you. So also respect me. Let me tell you, my dear brother. Today, Cheriot and Moses Kuria went into Bomas. The Bomas has been so quiet. Now the man has said, we are on this side, we're in the butcher, we are butchery, and then we drop the meat here. You see, describing me in a very bad way. I've never begged the meat. I've never. I have suffered as a refugee for 37 years. I sprang from nothing up to today, and I'm here. And I'm happy to be where I am. But I don't compromise on people who defend corrupt people. These guys are corrupt. They can lead, they can pick leadership, but already the courts have sentenced them. 2, these conferences are going to create chaos. You see, the more Chebukati keeps these results, let me say this, the more you keep these results without announcing and leave it to them if they want to go to court, whoever has won, whoever has lost, whoever has got a complaint, let them go to court. The more you keep them and change this, rumors are filling the vacuum. And it can cause a very big situation, which my brother and I agree. We don't want Kenya to go through anything.
Indeed.
Indeed. And that is why I am here. I might be a bad guy, which I'm not, because I've stood by him. He has stood by me on several occasions, on so many things. But where there is bad people, we have to say it. And I've said it both ways. In our Azimio, there is a man like Waluke. He has won a seat. But he was convicted by the court. Conviction in law does not mean you appeal, you are free. The judges, even Martha told you, Kome said, once the judge pronounces itself, you are already a done deal. You are a visitor to her office as a convict, appealing that remove it from me. So Kachagwa can go anywhere, but he was convicted by a lower court. He has appealed. He can make his litigation and now find ways. Okay. Maybe he's waiting to be sworn in. Then he can kill this case. I don't know. But for me, let these conferences, press conferences. In fact, if we finish from here, I'm going to make a telephone call to stop some of our side so that we don't get involved. I was here in 2007. Press conferences started that way. And you saw what followed.
We'll definitely hope for that particular phone call. Allow me before you actually respond to that particular question on the press conferences. I'm being told we have to cross over to Kisumu County, where Sharon Baranga is. Sharon Baranga, it has been quite a long 3 days, quite a lot of happenings in this particular elections. What is happening in that particular county right now?
Okay. We are getting you loud and clear, Stanley. We are right in the middle of Kisumu town in Kisumu County. We've been here since Monday. We have been here informing our audiences with regards to what is happening in the 2022 general election. And right now, Kisumu residents already know who their county leaders are. That is from the governor, woman representative, the senator, their members of parliament. And right now, we are going to talk to some of them, and they're going to express what they are feeling with regards to the general election and what is currently happening. So, unaweza karibia tu kidogo tuonge? Karibia. Unaweza anza kujitambulisha wewe ni nani? Kisha utueleze unahisi vipi kuhusiana na wale viongozi ambao wameshachaguliwa katika kaunti hii?
Asante. Mimi ni Ali Semira, mwenyekiti bunge la wananchi Central Square. Najihisi vyema sana na niko na furaha kubwa sana. Uchaguzi ilifanyika tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka huu, ilikuwa ya mafanikio. Na imeonyesha dhahiri wakaaji wa Kisumu ni watu watulivu, ni watu wamekomaa kimawazo na wanajua hasa ni nini la kufanya, na waliifanya, wameongea na matokeo katokea na wasindi wakatangazwa. Na sasa chenye imebaki ni kuanza kazi, wafanyie wa Kisumu County kazi. Kama sisi kwa hiyo ya furaha, sisi kama bunge la wananchi Kisumu Central tulikuwa watu wa party. Party kisa tupatia watu, tunasimama na party. Na furaha yetu wananchi nao wamesimama na party na wakachagua wenye party. Sasa mkubwa wetu Raila Amolo Odinga mahali hapo ako na furaha.